Give me the argument, the best argument you know, for the power of cinema.
What's up, bro?
What's up, bro?
And welcome everybody to the show. This is Peliculas with the Bros. My name is Adrian.
My name is Ivan.
And Peliculas with the Bros is a podcast, a show where me and my brother Ivan, we talk about movies. Every week we talk about a new movie. And this week we're doing something a little bit different because usually we do a new movie. But today we are trying something different. And we're getting ready for the release of the new Batman movie called The Batman. But before that, we're going back almost 20 years to watch a different Batman movie just to prepare us. So Ivan, put on that latex bat suit with those butt cheeks all shiny and everything. Maybe some nipple tassels.
Titillating.
There it is. Put some fake abs on and let's discuss the technicolor buffoonery that is Batman.
Forever.
Batman Forever, people.
Da, 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 da.
Is that it?
Spider-Man.
Oh, horrible. Before we get into that, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment. Please like this video. Please like this podcast. We're in both podcast platform and YouTube platform. So we're video and audio. You can find us wherever you get your podcast, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Deezer, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Just follow us there if you like movies, if you like to hear two guys talk about new movies. Follow us there. If you'd like to watch us, look us up on youtube.com. I don't know if you ever heard of youtube.com. It's a little platform where people can upload videos and watch videos. Look for Peliculas with the Bros there, and we will be there. If you can, subscribe to us, like it, and it will boost the algorithm signals to boost our video. Ivan, are you ready?
Yeah.
Batman Forever. Basically. Directed by Joel Schumacher. Written, doesn't really matter, but it's written by Lee Batchelor, Janet Scott Batchelor, and Akiva Goldsman.
Wonder why they need so many writers.
Yeah. I understand one person's good at this and one person's good at that. But 3 writers? 4 writers? At the end of the day, it's like 2 people writing it, most likely.
Yeah,
and then,
probably.
like, the other person, oh, I have an idea. And they have to give them, like, that line. I was listening to a podcast where a producer / whatever, agent, I don't know what he was. He was saying that you can get, like, producer credits on a song for giving an artist just a basic idea.
Isn't that like Kanye's whole thing?
I think that's more like Diddy's whole thing, where
Whatever.
Kanye is a little bit more intricate. Maybe not as like feel happy.
Because I know like Drake's credited for like a song on Yay,
The
7-track.
Yep.
Man, it's like the 3rd song, but like he does the hook for it. Not
Okay.
Drake, but he gave Kanye the hook. And that was just like Drake's like going to the studio and like saying like da, ba, da, da, ba, da, da. And Kanye's like, okay, I'll use that. And then he credited him.
So just the flow laid down. Like, give me the flow and I'll put the lyrics. It's the reference thing, right? That Drake got poo-pooed on for doing the Quentin Miller thing.
Yeah, but I mean, Drake's was a little more like obvious.
Yeah.
Like it was like straight up copying exactly word for word what
Was it?
Quentin-
No.
One song was.
It wasn't a word for word.
It was pretty word for wordy.
I think it was like very close, but the flow was exact.
Isn't that the same thing?
No? It's like you have different lyrics, but the flow is exactly the same.
There was one. There was like the lyrics are also the same.
Okay.
I'm like 80% sure,
Okay.
but it doesn't matter. Like everyone writes for everyone. Kanye he has like Rhyme Fest in
Yeah.
his little purse or whatever.
Yeah.
You watched the Kanye documentary?
Yeah.
All of it?
Yeah.
We'll discuss.
Okay. The premise of Batman Forever. A new day brings new foes. Two-Face is after Batman and wants him dead. Thankfully for him, the Riddler, engineer turned super genius homicidal maniac, is after something similar. Unfortunately for Batman, his greatest enemy might be himself as he grapples with the question, am I Batman or am I Bruce Wayne? With a cast of Val Kilmer as Bruce Wayne / Batman, Tommy Lee Jones, the great Tommy Lee Jones, as Harvey Dent / Two-Face, Jim Carrey as Edward Nygma / the Riddler. Notice that all these guys have 2 roles. Interesting, isn't it?
Sure.
Nicole Kidman as Dr. Chase Meridian. Oh, Nicole. Oh,
Burned
Nicole.
into my eyes.
Yep.
Her face.
Yeah. Chris O'Donnell as Dick Grayson / Robin. Michael Gough as Alfred Pennyworth. Pat Hingle as James Gordon. The worst James Gordon ever, right?
Yeah, he was just like a police dude. Like
He's
didn't-
like, get Batman.
yeah, they didn't give him character like they do these days. Well, maybe he didn't have character back then. Well, no, they did.
They did.
Never mind.
George Wallace as the mayor. Drew Barrymore, notably here as Sugar. Sugar. Joel Schumacher, Ivan.
No relation.
Do you know any?
Gotcha.
Do you know any?
What's next? Hit me.
Do you-
AMC La Jolla. Come on, let's go.
Do you know anything about our boy Schumacher?
Nope.
He passed away recently, so rest
Nope.
in peace. We're about to trash him, but rest in peace, sir. He made great movies.
Okay.
Never mind, I take that back. He made some movies. Some lasted in the lexicon. You know what I mean?
What's his best?
The best movie, you ask? Probably critically,
Sure.
Phone Booth.
Never heard of it.
Colin
Give me something I
Farrell?
know. Give me something I know.
Lost Boys.
Nope.
St. Elmo's Fire.
Nope.
The Client.
Nope.
23 with Jim Carrey.
We
No?
said with Jim Carrey.
I had to say it's fast before you.
No.
So, all of these movies he made, also Phantom of the Opera, which was it made
Oh, really?
don't
Okay.
he made good he made good money on some of these. Some flopped. I'm so confused basically, because up to this point in Schumacher's career, he wasn't like a guy you would say, this guy is Batman. This guy should make a new superhero movie.
Yeah.
A little backstory before. Actually, no. Let's keep going with this route. Anyways, they choose him. He is chosen. I don't know why. Did he have a great pitch?
No.
Did he have a great vision?
No.
I think, and this goes back to our boy.
Christy Noli?
No, Roland Emmerich.
Rolly Emmy.
Rolly Emmy. Shout out to Rolly Emmy. One thing that these 2 people have in common. I'm not saying anything,
You're about to.
but I'm going to say this.
Okay.
They are both gay men.
Oh, no.
What does this mean? I don't know what this means, but I'm just pointing this out. That they make bad movies and they keep getting to make bad movies. I don't know, man.
You're just putting it out there in the universe, right?
But another thing to note here, and I'm not trying to say that. I guess this is my next point. What I'm trying to say. We brought up that Rolly Emery might be just a nice guy, like a
Right.
guy that's nice to people, and I
Okay.
feel like there's a thing that Joel Schumacher might have too, where he might be just a nice guy. And he comes across as a good dude, and people want to give him movies for that reason. That's all I really have. I don't know why they would give him this movie.
I feel like from the movies I heard, like I kind of knew of the names, but I never watched them.
Uh-huh.
But I never heard anything bad about those movies.
Uh-huh.
So I kind of feel like he was just, like, at that time, a solid director.
Yes.
By our standards, he's not that good.
Correct.
Because I think we're, like, at the point where, like, movies are like they're good now. Like at least like sevens, whereas like back then they were kind of like doing cocaine, doing whatever. Let's have fun. We'll make the movie. Now it's like, all right, let's just make a good movie.
Gotcha.
You know?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I wonder if the median baseline basically of movies has gone up over the past few years. I mean, a stroll through Netflix will give you a different take, but
I mean, even those, I think if they released like in the 70s, we would have been like, "Whoo, what the?"
True. But is that more technology or is that just like?
Oh, like wow, CGI.
Yeah,
amazing?
exactly.
I think it's because they're kind of stealing ideas from the 70s too. Like I'm thinking specifically, like that Ben Affleck Netflix like Three Dogs movie or whatever it was called, Three Frontiers.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure there's like 20 movies that did the same thing.
True.
From like 70s to 2000. But if they released that movie in like 80, and I think it's decently possible to remake that movie, it would just look a little worse.
Yeah.
I think it would have been like, that was a good movie. But now it's like, all right, it's all been done.
Yes.
Not that good.
Yeah, I wonder if this upcoming movie, The Batman that we're going to watch, is going to have a similar fate where maybe it's already been done so much where it's like...
You take that back.
Oh. Solid it.
Bunk.
I'll poop it out later for good measure.
You. Nasty.
So, Joel Emmerich, thinking about him as a director.
Joel Emmerich?
Yes, Joel Emmerich, Ivan.
You said that.
I know.
Okay.
Joel Schumacher. Thinking of him as a director. He has no real, like, a style, right? He has no real panache as, like, or he has no real substance to say, this guy is known for this. He's more of a good hand, I guess, at the time. But even his movies beforehand were not that good.
Like,
except for one, The Client, which was, I guess, people
can
liked.
you shut up?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. This is slight tangent, but far-reaching theoretical possibilities. You like that?
It's like you karate chop with me with words. Like
Far-reaching theoretical possibilities. Because I'm seeing, like, similarities between, like, I just said this, but with the movies, how it was, like, kind of poopy back then, and now we're like, all right, we kind of know what to do to make good movies because we learned from all the past mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're like, there's really no excuse to making a bad movie other than, like, you don't have enough money and someone just really wants to poop out this idea.
Mm-hmm.
But those movies are a lot more, like, pooped on, like, by the public.
Okay.
So it's like, there really is no reason for those movies to be made either.
Mm-hmm.
And I see that trend with, like, games too, because games are, like, still technically new compared to movies.
Yes.
Because right now games are, like, straight up just made to sell micro stuffs, like all of it. And then the ones that aren't are, like, emulating just movies. Like, I'm thinking all the PlayStation ones are basically movie games. Like, there's some good gameplay in it, but a lot of it's like cutscene, slow gameplay. Like Red Dead Redemption was like, you got to get on your horse. It takes like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
To reload your gun.
Oh.
But that's like all games today, I
Okay.
feel. And I kind of think there's going to be a trend of games being like, all right, let's actually just make fun games instead of, like, these straight up horrible, not horrible, but, like, they're not games. Like, the definition of, like, a game is, like, just something you have fun playing, right?
Gotcha.
And they're fun, but, like, it's not straight up, like, kickball is just fun, you know?
Yeah.
But there's no, like, kickball that's super popular in game world besides
FIFA.
But even that, it's like microtransactions, all that. And that's like...
Well, okay, I understand that. What's the relation between that and movies?
I think... Because I see this kind of with TV too, but there's going to be a point where it's like they're gonna figure out, let's just make fun, straight up fun games instead of trying to make freaking The Godfather in perfect cinema quality with zero gameplay.
Okay.
Because there's a PlayStation 4 exclusive that came out, which was like 7 hours long, and it had like 1 hour of gameplay.
What's it called?
Order 1887. I think. And they like made fun of that so much because it's literally a movie more than a game, but like the world was like amazing.
Right.
It's not a game.
So it needs to go back to gaming.
Yeah. And then with television, it's like I think we were only good once like Sopranos hit, and then that's when it was like, all right, television is real, you know? And they start making good stuff with good writers and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're like at a spot where things are about to shake up
for games,
for everything. Maybe not movies so much, because it's already kind of there. Well, I think movies are even going to get better after this, after the Batman. So just like movies are going to keep getting better and better.
Interesting.
It's like, what movie has come out in like the past 10 years that hasn't really been, that wasn't a remake or anything like groundbreaking? Like we don't have, like I want a modern Heat, you know?
But what makes you think now's the time?
Guts
and glory?
Gut feelings?
But I don't see that. I don't see that cultural shift that could be making that happen, or even technological shift. I mean, unless
we make it happen.
You and I
was thinking me and me.
Yeah, that's quite different. Interesting idea. I don't know if I fully agree with it.
That's what Kanye's talking about, but he's crazy, isn't he? Isn't he?
Ivan, you're acting a little crazy.
I'm a little bipolar today.
Okay, I like that. I was going somewhere with the Joel Schumacher thing, where looking at him and his overall embodiment, his filmography, his body style. Just kidding.
His body style.
His rap equivalent is French Montana. Or Tiger.
Or who?
Tiger.
I say French because French sucks.
Like French he keeps getting records out in the industry for some reason. People still give him a chance. Drake, Sway Lee gives him hit records to just like, all right, do your thing. His raps are kind of trash, and he has no real style at all.
Jeez, he's probably crying at home right now.
But he found the way to make it happen. And why? Most likely, he's just like a really nice guy.
Oh my God. Like I just want all these, like I want the house of cards that is like all these rappers to just like fall. Like we don't need French Montana anymore.
Ivan, we'll get to that.
We don't need him.
It's not time for your hip hop take.
My daily weekly hip hop.
Hip hop is dead, guys.
Genocide.
So yeah, Joel Schumacher, French Montana. But this movie, Batman Forever, comes after Batman Returns. Batman Forever, what kind of name is that? What's their thinking behind that, do you think?
I feel like it was named before it was made.
Definitely.
They're like, you know what? Batman is forever. And that's like how it went.
Oh, yeah. There's like one marketing guy, he's like, what's Batman? One goes like, Batman is cool. And then other guy's, Batman's black. Batman's forever? And then the head marketing guy's like, Batman Forever.
Make
Make the poster!
God.
So, Tim Burton made Batman Returns. He also made the Batman. He was going to come back to make this movie. But the studio was like, Batman Returns didn't make as much money as the original Batman. And your movie was pretty dark. We don't want to give you full creative control. We're going to have some tidbits just so we can make more money and that little kids aren't scared of the penguin character that you make in this film. So he's like, you know what? I'm out. Deuces. Shout out to Tim Burton for doing that. And they start looking for directors. Sam Raimi was in contention. John McTiernan, he made Die Hard. At least, like, for Die Hard, that kind of makes sense more than Joel Schumacher too, because it's like this guy made a classic action movie.
They've like really did not care about like if the director knew the material at all.
Right.
Like,
yes. Yeah.
They just want a director.
Yeah.
It's like I know like back then they didn't think about it, but like today it's like it's so obvious. Like just they gotta like the source.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like even Christopher Nolan, he wasn't even the biggest Batman fan. Like I know he read it, but like you could tell it's like not really Batman technically.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's like something that Raimi brought in with Spider-Man, where they're like, "Oh, this guy loves Spider-Man. He makes the movie, and it's a really
freaking weirdo,
and the movie's really good. Maybe there's something there." And Feige's like, "Yes, there's something there."
I think that was like more like luck for Raimi.
Yeah,
like he's lucked out. He was a director, and he happened to really like Spider-Man.
Yeah,
and they noticed that. They're like, "Okay, sure."
So yeah, he knows this stuff. So the people making this new Batman Forever, they're like, we want to make this style different. We don't want that dark style that Burton was doing over there. We want an MTV for the MTV generation.
It's like they're stupid.
You see. And another quote, we want full merchandising. So they're just thinking about the moolah.
Like big green dollar signs.
Yeah. No intention of actually
making an art piece.
Which is so sad. Joel Schumacher, he gets it, obviously. He initially wanted to do The Dark Knight Returns, because that comic just came out. He's like, I want to do that take, and they're like, you know what, that's too dark. Like we told you we didn't want anything dark.
I wonder how that would have looked. Like, would we have Superman? You know?
Wait, what do you mean?
Dark Knight Returns?
Uh-huh. Oh. No. But The Dark Knight Returns is a comic book. You know that, right? Okay.
Isn't that the one where he is like old and then he like beats up Superman and he's like, I won.
Yeah. At the very end, yeah.
Like, will we get Superman and then old Bruce Wayne?
That would have been interesting. Especially from Schumacher. Like, what would have Schumacher done with that?
Like, what does he know?
You don't know about this.
You can't relate to this struggle.
Keaton was like, you know what? I'm out too. He was going to come back, but he's like, no, I don't like this guy. I don't like where you're going. They started looking for replacements. Ivan, get ready. Hold on, because we're about to go down a weird rabbit hole.
Okay.
Ethan Hawke.
Sure.
Offered it. He declined.
Good.
Keanu Reeves.
Nope.
Imagine.
He's too skinny. He's too, like...
Alec and William Baldwin. Dean Cain, Tom Hanks, Kurt Russell, Ralph Fiennes.
Kurt Russell would have been good.
Yeah, that would have been tasty. Chase Meridian, they started looking for her. Sandra Bullock, Robin Wright. They started looking for Two-Face. Tommy Lee's like number one, but they also considered hold Al Pacino, Clint Eastwood, Martin Sheen, and Robert De Niro.
Al Pacino. I would have wanted to see that.
And it's funny because like Billy D. Williams was in the original 2 Batman movies.
Okay.
And Burton was like, when I make the 3rd film, which is gonna be you're gonna be Two-Face.
Oh, okay.
And he was like, all right, down. I'll be in your movies. Comes time to make this film. Sorry, Billy D. You're black. You're out. That's what Joel Schumacher said.
Crazy.
Just kidding. He didn't say that, but...
In a way, he did.
Yeah. Well, at least we know he didn't pick him. Riddler. Robin Williams. Hold. Michael Jackson.
No way.
Supposedly, Michael Jackson was like, I want this. Oh
my God.
Imagine Michael Jackson and Robert De Niro or Al Pacino. your face is just like God.
It's like unfathomable.
I know.
Fathomable.
Unfathomable.
Okay.
I know, it's one of those things. Once you say it wrong, you can't say it again. And Robin started looking into him. Marlon Wayans was actually casted as Robin in Batman Returns, but they cut him out because of the script was being too long. And I think he was going to make a return if Burton was back.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine Marlon Wayans. Like the first black superhero as Robin. One thing about Burton, he thinks out of the box. My boy thinks out of the box.
Sure.
He's one of my favorite directors. Ivan doesn't like him. Don't lie. So they started considering Leo DiCaprio. I don't know if you ever heard of him, for Robin.
Jeez.
Matt Damon, Corey Haim, Corey Feldman, Mark Wahlberg, Christian Bale, Jude Law, Ewan McGregor.
I think this movie was perfectly cast with the right actors, but like because the movie sucks. Like
Yes.
Like only the stupid actors would have chosen this.
Yeah, like don't tarnish Leo's resume with this movie.
Yeah.
Don't you dare give Al Pacino Two-Face.
Tangent. What would Leo be like if he was a superhero or supervillain? Marvel, DC, like modern. What do you think? Can't be somebody already established. Well, sure, it can be. It can be.
That'd be super hard.
Can't be any of the ones you know.
Right now?
Sure.
Like modern Leo?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a little hard. Because he has like heft to him.
Ooh. Yeesh. Cruel.
Can it be villain?
Yeah, yeah. I think it has to be a villain.
I think he could be a very good he could be a very good Lex Luthor.
I want Lex to be bulky.
But Lex isn't bulky. Oh, like fat?
No, like just like
No, he's not built.
I want him to be like 6'5", chiseled jaw, pristine, a little built.
You crazy.
That's how I picture him.
Why do you want Lex like that?
He's kind of like that in like the cartoon.
He's like a slim figure, isn't he?
But he's a little imposing.
He is imposing. Okay. It is weird that they put Eisenberg as.
Yeah.
That's so weird, huh? Okay, Leo, keep going. I was thinking Cyclops, but no.
A Batman villain with Penguin. I think what's his face? I guess we do have Penguin. Maybe Riddler, Joker, Black Mask.
Black Mask.
He's like a crime boss. He's kind of like B tier Batman. I'm just like thinking Batman and then who he has.
I don't know. This is hard. I can't do it.
Killer
Croc. I think he's just too old.
That's why he has to be a villain.
Yeah. Professor X.
Bald. But his hair is kind of iconic. Leo.
Yeah. So wavy.
Yeah.
Come on. Back to the movie, Evan. I think the idea is like, because like I was sort of scanning through the Burton Batman movies, and his movies are kind of a little corny too, but they're not as corny, and I feel like he loved what he was doing. Like he put himself into it in a way, like his ideas, even though some of them were corny. Since they were sort of authentic to him, they didn't feel as corny. And I think Schumacher was like, I see what you do, Burton. You're very stylized. And we're going with this tone of kind of movie. So I'm going to make, not as dark, I'm going to make it really colorful. And I'll make it campy. I'm going to make it stylized. But I think what he's missing is, it's not just that. You have to actually
have a vision.
Yeah, you have to believe in what you're doing.
Right.
Not just say, we're going to go with the 60s campy style and call it a day.
It's like the difference between like a controlled like brush stroke for like whatever you're painting versus like
Yeah. Yeah, like I'll control this brush stroke, and then the guy's like, "Oh yeah, I could do that too."
like trying to draw like a circle. You could probably do it pretty well slow.
Uh-huh.
But if you're like be a little ugly,
Yeah.
like, it'd be a circle still, but not like an optimal circle.
Yeah. And what he ends up making is a weird looking circle. It's a wacky circle, super corny. I mean, like, okay, so the first scene shows you how corny this movie is going to be, where there's a bank heist, Two-Face is robbing a bank. He traps Batman and a security guard in a vault, and there's acid coming out of the vault, and the security guard's like, "Oh no, acid!" And it's just like the 60s Batman TV show brought to modern times. But that's not what the MTV generation's about. If you want to make something MTV generation, it has to be a little grittier. It can't be like straight up cornball fest. What the hell's going on here?
And I mean, like the 60s were so corny. Like to make that today, like today, it would have to be like so aware
Yes.
of what it's doing. And even back then, like they had a little more leeway because they're not as smart as us today.
Exactly.
But even then, they had to be somewhat aware. And there's like there's a moment in that towards the end where he's like, "Holy,
Yes.
holy something, Batman." He's like, "Well, it's rusted away. It's holy."
Holy rusted. Yeah.
I was like, "I get it. That's funny."
Yes.
Not.
Yeah, it's essentially they didn't practice. They didn't go into it with a idea of being a satire. They just made a direct copy in the current times, and that won't work.
They made something that like other people will satire.
Yeah, and they already that stuff that already people were already satirizing.
Yeah.
It was made 30 years ago. Like literally 30 years ago, it was made, and you're making it again.
30 years ago was the 90s for us, so we would have to satirize what this movie. Nobody wants
No,
that.
but we can't do that because it's already been satirized to death.
Yeah.
Not this movie, but that style, which was made in the 60s.
Yeah.
We would do something like Heat, you know?
I would write Heat, you know. I want to do like a Heat comedy.
Yeah. Like a straight up comedy or like in a nuanced way?
I would like, I think satirized.
Because I don't want it to be a buddy cop type of comedy.
No, it's not.
I want it to be like
It would be like.
they'll play it straight.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
I'll give you $10.
Direct it.
I'm executive producer though.
I'll get Al Pacino.
I thought you said I'll get a cappuccino or something.
Cappuccino. Al Pacino.
We have Two-Face, Tommy Lee Jones. His character is kind of bananas. I sort of like him the most. I wish he was I wish he sort of played into that Two-Face of like half of me is more not calm and the other half is crazy. He was always crazy. There's only like 2 parts where he was acting kind of like, oh, I'm a gentleman at times, and then now I'm crazy.
They both play the Joker, basically.
Yeah. Like,
but with like a hint of their original character.
Right.
Like Riddler, he does riddles, but he's crazy. He's off the cuff. He's anarchic or whatever.
Yeah, the Riddler, Jim Carrey, he's known to be an overactor.
Yeah.
So he was right at home. I do appreciate
Joker.
that he just went for it though.
Yeah.
But it's still bad.
It's a little embarrassing though to watch.
Yeah.
Because like you could see it's Jim Carrey and you could see like his personality. But then it just feels like you're watching Jim Carrey more than like the Riddler.
Yeah, that's true.
It just felt like, I don't know. And then Tommy Lee Jones, like, this is like the most out of character thing he's ever done.
True.
Yeah, I would have been embarrassed if I was him.
Yeah. Heard that him and Jim Carrey didn't get along.
I think he's just mad that he took the role. He has to act as stupid as Jim Carrey.
There's like the phrase acting to the rafters, and it means like there's people in the back of the audience that can't see your emotions like they do in the front of the audience. Mm-hmm. So you really have to act it out, you know?
It's like how they act in plays.
Right. And that's something that Jim Carrey's doing. He's really expressive, where for us watching this now, it's just like, we just watched Drive My Car. You know? Like, we literally just watched the most calm movie we've ever watched.
Yeah.
Which is out on HBO Max if you ever want to see it. And we just did an episode, so look back in the archives. It's kind of crazy, right?
Yeah.
The dichotomy of things.
Yep.
Duality. Batman. Who the hell's Val Kilmer? Like for reals. Like, to you, who is Val Kilmer? Do you know, like, him at all?
Why you...
Not like I'm mad at you, but like I'm mad at the idea that he's so sort of like faceless.
I liked him. He was in a Robert Downey Jr. movie.
Okay.
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Okay. I've heard of it.
It was good.
Okay.
I think that was like his last good movie before he got ugly. He's ugly.
Oh. I think he has like throat cancer.
Well, I knew that. He was ugly before the throat cancer.
Okay. You're ugly before your throat cancer.
What was it?
Val Kilmer. Who do you?
Oh, that's all I know him from. But I always just liked
Heat.
Oh yeah, I liked him.
I liked him in Heat, but he was no one in Heat. He was just like mad and a gambler.
Yeah, but every time I've watched him in a movie, I've liked his work.
Yeah.
Not that I was like, wow. I was like,
yeah. He's very close to being on our all-time face list.
Yeah, he has a movie star face.
Yeah.
Sure.
But other than that, there's nothing that really... And I feel like if we were in the 90s, we would be able to describe Val Kilmer and his popularity a little more. Like, of course, it's 30 years later. He doesn't resonate as much as he did before. But in this movie, he's just so... Hi, I am Bruce Wayne. I am Batman. Like... There's no... He's always the same guy.
Mm-hmm.
Very calm, very... And I think the original Batman one with Keaton was similar to that too. Yeah, I feel like there's something missing though. Like complete...
It's probably like everything. Bad script, bad director, bad actors. Not like bad, but like improper.
I wonder why he didn't act so zany, like...
Because he's Batman.
But if you're trying to be like the sixth... I don't know, maybe maybe
that was just like not thinking like, well, if we're going to emulate the 60s, shouldn't Batman be like this? Like nobody had that thought.
Keep the tone the same, you know?
Yeah, whatever.
Chase Meridian, Nicole Kidman, we hate her here on... Peliculas With The Bros, only because of her initial trailer on every AMC movie that we ever watch. In this movie, she's a complete horny horn dog who wants Batman's D or...
It's crazy.
It's so weirdly written.
Yeah.
It's like, I want you. Show me what you got, big guy.
I don't know.
And then she kisses him, and she's like, well, don't really like you, I guess.
She definitely was like... She has some toxic tendencies to her.
Yeah.
Like, it always happens. I fall for the bikers in the jackets.
Oh, God.
And now the latex.
You and me both, sister. Robin, not Robin Wright, but Robin in this movie, played by Chris O'Donnell.
With a little earring.
Little earring.
Gives him a little youth so he doesn't look 30.
Yeah, and those sideburns that have like a little point to them. I don't know if you noticed that.
Little wings, maybe? Like
maybe.
a robin?
Yeah, maybe he could fly once he...
Imagine.
Oh, God, that is so gross. Chris O'Donnell, he's fine. He's probably the most normal character in this whole movie.
You know what I hated when he was doing his laundry?
Yeah, that was.
It was like, and it was like the biggest puddle of water. And Alfred's like, what the heck?
He's like, I like to do my own stuff. Later, Alfred.
He just winks at him. I was like, this dude is like an idiot, like literally.
Oh man, that scene was all for the ladies all for the 15-year-old girls in 1995.
Who loved the man who did his laundry by hand.
Who got a little wet.
Who mopped up right after.
Well, I'm not afraid to get a little wet. Oh God, Chris O'Donnell, shout out to him. Whatever happened to him? What does he do today?
I saw a picture of him. He was fat.
Yeah, happens, man.
Yep.
There's a couple of what the fuck moments in this movie. Oh, there's many. One that's like the thing that irks me so much in movies is when there's voiceover. When they dub a character's voice. It's everywhere in this movie.
It's just so loud.
Yeah. Like the tone, like the scene and the voice doesn't match up. I don't know why I'm sure it's because of mistakes and rewriting, but it's so bad.
I was thinking it was like microphone errors. It was like freaking Jim Carrey's laughing like a dog over there. We gotta overlap him with some audio or something.
Yeah.
It's freaking embarrassing.
God. So that's one. Another one is when Gordon, what was his name? Sheriff Gordon? Not Sheriff.
Jim.
What is it?
Commissioner Gordon.
Commissioner Gordon puts out the bat signal looking for Batman near the end of the film. And he's like, you know what? Turn off the bat signal. And out comes Batman in the plane. They're like, oh, he's here. And then Batman looks over and he's like, he gives him the thumbs up. He's in a plane a mile up. You think he could see your thumbs up?
Over black
on black? In the night sky? It made me laugh, but that's a bad movie,
it's nice
man.
To see like how obvious like bad writing is. Like I'm imagining like it written. He's like Jim Gordon looks up, he sees Batman giving him a thumbs up. And I think written it kind of makes sense. But you have to visualize that that's actually going to be on
logical
screen. Yeah. So he's like a million miles in the air, black on black. It's night. You know? They don't think about it like when they're writing it.
But even as a director, you make it, you put it in your film, you literally see what you're doing.
I feel like there's maybe like social pressure. Like he's like it's in the script and I have to finish it. Like I feel kind of awkward telling him this is bad or like doing something else.
God. My one big thing that I do like about this film is the look of the city.
The CGI city?
Yeah. There's like big monuments everywhere. And as a kid, I remember watching this and it creeped me the hell out. Just like how dark it looked and colorful, but also humongous. I really I hated it as a kid because it creeped me out. And now I'm like, oh yeah, that's very impressionistic. Like I like how it looks. It's iconoclastic in a way. Doesn't make the film any better, but
just throwing it out there.
Rewatchability, Evan?
No.
Low. As low as it can get.
Yeah.
Even though I watched this like 10 times because I watched it 9 times as a kid.
There's just like nothing I can get out of it. Like,
yes, you can. The bad. Don't do the bad.
But I already know. Like, it's not like I'm watching this like, oh, I'm not supposed to be stupid when I write this. You know? It's like just like I would never make it this bad.
Yeah.
Like it's below my pay grade in a way.
Damn, now we're talking. Best scenes. I like the very first scene where I like the scene where Edward Nygma meets Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Because it shows like how crazy Edward Nygma is and how obsessed he is with Bruce Wayne. I like that.
Kind of like when Edward Nygma was in like, he was a billionaire now.
Yeah.
And then he's like richer than Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
stocks were going up. He was
Yeah.
Elon Musk.
I kind of like that just because it was funny to see them interact. And Jim Carrey is like, he's now the eccentric playboy billionaire.
With Sugar by his side. Drew
Sugar.
Barrymore. Poor Drew Barrymore. Taking a shit role.
She's rich.
Yeah. Charlie's Angels.
Shut up.
I kind of liked the opening scene, even though it was stupid with the bank heist and all that. One part that was kind of good, but it didn't match the tone of the movie, was the flashbacks of Bruce as a kid and his parents dying and him at the wake. Like, I wonder what the movie, because that's sort of more Dark Knight Returns,
Mm-hmm.
but it's completely different from the rest of the film. Batman Forever. That's all you get from Ivan Afrasio over here. Let's rate this movie, Ivan. Out of 5 tickets, how many tickets do you give it?
2.5.
I give it 2. Takeaway is 1-line review. It's colorful, but it's shitty.
A rainbow poopy.
It's a rainbow turd that, even though potpourri is sprayed all over it, once you get at crack into that, once you break it open,
Once you get that little knife into slicing in, open up,
the foul stench would penetrate your nose.
a little stinky line.
Yep, stinky lines. Yep, exactly. Batman Forever. I'm excited for Batman, I guess. This movie is completely probably opposite from what the Batman's going to be. We'll talk a lot about the film and its relation to all the other films and the future of DC in the next podcast we do, but it should be exciting, right? But now, it's time for a section we like to call
Things and such.
Ivan, is there anything going on, not music related, not movie related, that you want to discuss?
You hear Epic bought Bandcamp?
Yes, I did.
I think that's crazy.
What does this mean for Bandcamp and for Epic as a whole?
Everything.
Guys. Ivan's about to drop knowledge. He's moving his face a lot.
Well, isn't like the world moving towards like the internet's moving towards like no middleman sort of stuff?
Yes,
And I think that's
definitely.
Bandcamp is kind of perfectly positioned. If that's the future, then they're already in the future.
Ivan, don't.
They are already in the future.
God damn it.
And then Epic, I'm not that they're the best company ever, but they're so obscenely rich, and I think they have smart people there directing them into like, look, this is the future. This is what's gonna be important.
Mm-hmm.
Bandcamp.
Mm-hmm.
You buy that, you work on it with your billions and billions and billions of dollars.
Billions.
Because like what Bandcamp was missing was like money. They're poor there. I feel like they're the sewers of the music world.
No.
You know what I mean? Underground
Yeah.
sewers.
Okay.
Got them.
They're not poor. They're making good money over there.
But now with the backing of this, like they can just infinitely grow if they want to.
Yeah, I think what Epic should think about is like having a team that directs the top emerging talents and top current talents as far as artists, musicians, to go the Bandcamp route, you know? And like now they have the lobbying power to push these artists over there.
And like imagine that power behind like if Bandcamp's the future, like that style.
Yeah.
And they push it hard. They could just like Mad Men make the conversation, you know? Make the conversation happen.
Yeah.
And then now everyone's gonna have to catch up.
Yeah.
And they have the money to like burn to like wait out whenever this shift will actually take place.
Mm-hmm.
So it's perfect. And I've always wanted to go into like Bandcamp's music, because I'm sure there's like Kanye 3.0 in there somewhere.
Yeah, he's somewhere in there. That's my main gripe with Bandcamp.
Yeah.
I looked at it today, honestly, and I was like, because of this, and then I'm just like, where do I start?
Yeah. Like, imagine a curation team, like a big team, like with epic money, you know?
Yeah.
They could hire like a whole building just to curate, and they could just like shift music instantly if Bandcamp literally has Kanye 3.0.
Yeah. About to sneeze.
Enjoy.
Maybe stop sneezing. Yeah, it's exciting, right? In a way. I wonder what's gonna happen.
Yep.
Hopefully it doesn't make it worse.
Yeah. I mean, they want to make money, but I don't think they're stupid.
I wonder if it's sort of like, in a way, something they learned with working with like Travis Scott and all these other people through Fortnite. Like maybe they saw some holes in the game. They're like, what if we can make this easier on us and on them to make more money for all of us?
Well, they probably saw like the money in music, with Travis. Like, look, we got Travis and we got so much money out of that.
Yeah.
In like different ways.
Yeah.
So like, why don't we just get into music? Because there's obviously money in music, and there's Bandcamp that is the future connected to.
Yeah. Bandcamp's kind of like a label that takes less money from their artists, I would assume, right?
Do you think they'll make a streaming service in there?
They do have a streaming service, I think, Bandcamp.
But for everything in there? Or is it like...
I'm not sure. I think you can play their... I'm not sure how it works, actually. I think they could then... I don't know.
It'd be cool if there's like... If they get like everyone's discography and then with Bandcamp's stuff, like I'll move, because that sounds perfect. As long as they like make the back end stuff good.
Yeah.
Like playlists, whatever.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of music that needs to be listened to.
Yes. Anything else that you heard out in the ether? Ivan, it's time for a section we like to call What's on the Telly? Ivan, I watched The Godfather.
So did I.
You son of a gun.
At home.
Why?
Because I don't want to go to Mission Valley.
But why'd you even watch it?
Because I was in the mood. I never watched it before.
What?
I watched like half of it, like 5 times.
Did you watch 2?
Like a third of it.
Oh my God, Ivan. We should have done that.
Surprisingly good.
Ivan's killed me multiple times in this podcast. Yeah, it's really good, right?
It would have been cool to see like the twist back when it was fresh. Like that must have been like, you know? Because it was so like beautifully like horrid in a way.
Yeah.
But it was still like obviously good.
It's when we were watching it in the theaters, restored, 50th anniversary. Can't believe it's been that long. I thought of Succession.
I would, yeah, because there's a lot of power dynamics, and it's like the same thing, a dynasty, and then the son passing it, or the dad passing it on to the son.
Yeah.
It's just like a different, like mafia.
Exactly.
TV. It must be a genre like of power dynasties.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think there's a show called Dynasty.
Probably sucks.
It's a soap opera. I think it was called Dallas, actually. I forgot.
Power? The 50 Cent one?
Maybe that's it, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, there's what was it when Michael's wife, what's her name?
Wifey?
Michael's wife was like,
did you do it?
No. That too. All of it. Damn it. He was describing what his family does, and then she's like, the politicians and the president don't order people to kill them. And he's like, who's being naive? Like, everyone in the theater laughed. That's another thing. Watching it in the theater, there's parts where people laughed.
Like, how dare you?
No, and I was like, that is funny. Like, it's not a straight up serious movie, you know?
Yeah.
Which is cool. I think what makes The Godfather so good, too, is that all of the characters are really relatable.
They're all, like, characters, but they're not, like, over the top. They're people.
Yeah. Like, everyone knows a hothead. Everyone knows cool, calm, collected type of guy.
Little dummy over there.
Yeah. Everyone loves that Italian old guy that's like, eat the pasta, you know? Everyone knows these guys. Yeah. And maybe it's because we know this movie's old, but it's also because they're real characters.
They don't make them like they used to.
No, they don't. And then I also thought about like how a random thought was how Goodfellas is like the evolution of this. Maybe not better or worse or whatever, but just like it's the evolution of Godfather, where this is like so cinematically beautiful and slow, and it's a story about like a family, where Goodfellas is like fast, like rock and roll, yeah, but it's still like kind of the same setting, but just like the evolution. And I wonder if like Succession is like the next evolution.
Well, it's like showing us the lives of the people who were in power at the time.
Yeah.
And so, like, Succession is real in a way.
Yeah, it is.
Maybe they're not as crazy, but the conversations they have, I'm butchering, but there's like parts where like, yeah, people died, but like, let's get to the bottom line, like stuff like that.
Yes.
Like, what? People died? What do you mean?
Right.
Like in the real world. Like, people like us who are like, you can't just do that. But they're so, like, far removed from humanity that they're like, yeah, bottom line, people died. Let's go supersonic, you know?
Supersonic. I remember he said that.
I think whenever he says that, it's like, yes. Because he's so, like, how he says it.
Oh, God. And I love, shout out to Marlon Brando. He was so good. Like, the scene where he finds out that Sonny died, I almost wanted to cry.
My boy.
So good. What have you been watching?
I watched Batman Begins Against Your Wishes.
You've been watching a lot of stuff. You're back on the gravy train or what?
Just, I've been organizing my schedule a little bit better.
All right.
Been a little better.
What'd you think?
It was good. I watched that, and I watched like half of Dark Knight.
Jesus.
Because like I recently watched Dark Knight like months ago, so it wasn't like two. Like I had that on the background more.
Yeah.
But like Batman Begins is such a like more encapsulated movie.
Yeah.
But Dark Knight, it kind of gets a little like not corny, but like they lean a little more into like the unrealistic side.
Definitely, yeah.
Whereas Batman Begins felt like this literally could happen.
Yeah.
Even though like
Definitely.
all of it's like supposed to be more grounded. Like it just gets a little less grounded in each movie.
Yeah. It's weird how that happens. I wonder if that's Nolan's like vision or if that's creative input and Nolan.
I feel like Nolan had like a really good vision for the first one, and then he got like freedom. Like, you know what? I'm gonna have some fun. Joke, baby.
Well, yeah, because at the same time, Nolan isn't a straight up serious. Like he made Inception. Like he has ideas too.
Yeah.
Inception and what was his recent one that no one watched? Tenet. I still think Tenet's like Playboy Cardi. Like it's
ahead of its time.
In a way, yeah.
I think it's like I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think Tenet's gonna be. It's not gonna hold up like Inception at all.
I think it's gonna be like a cult classic.
That's like code for bad at the time, but fun to watch now.
Yeah. Like in 10 years, people are gonna be like, "Hey, what happened to Tenet? You just gonna forget about Tenet?"
Forget about Tenet.
Anything else? Batman Begins.
Eh.
Euphoria, Ivan.
Thank God it's over.
The zeitgeist of the culture is here, and you let it wash away like the culture vulture you are.
It's a fart in the wind, as they say.
Not really. It is the second most popular HBO show of all time.
That means nothing.
And
You know Gunna outsold The Weeknd? You know where Gunna's going to be in 10 years?
where?
He's going to be featured only on poopy artist albums.
Gunna's gonna. I know Gunna's future right now. In 10 years, he's gonna make a cookie store in Atlanta and become richer than he did when he was
Like cookies.
I don't know. He looks like a
Yeah.
cookie guy. Yeah, he eats a lot of cookies.
He does look like he eats a lot of cookies, for sure.
Euphoria's last episode came out. Honestly, Euphoria disappointed me as a whole this season.
Jeez. And you were trying to get me to watch it?
Yeah, because it's the zeitgeist. I'm not saying it's a bad show.
I know what you mean, but
It didn't stick its landing.
well, it's going to get renewed for the rest of its life, isn't it?
No.
So, like Zendaya's 30,
No.
40?
I think like one more year and it's done.
I don't
But
know.
my takeaway is like the guy Sean Levinson he it's written, directed, and created. Like that's the credits every time it comes out.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. Like damn, this guy has an ego. And midway through, I was really feeling this season, but it just didn't end like correctly. And a lot of people say like, "Oh, it's very sexualized," and it is, but you can sort of get away with it if you have a reason for it to be sexualized. And I feel like he didn't give that reason at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was more of just like showing to show versus
Like shock factor?
Yeah.
Value? Shock value.
yeah. And I think the first season was criticized for that, but the first season was able to redeem itself
Mm-hmm.
with the story it told. And this one, you're sort of left like, oh damn.
What did he make before this?
I think he made like short films, but he also made that one movie Malcolm and Marie between seasons of Euphoria.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's like characters in the first season that he completely didn't like really include as main characters in this one, which is fine. Like it's cool to see a director say like, "Oh, we have a different set of people this year who were in last season but weren't given
Do they
light."
get like a year older each thing? Is like
This time they're like
ninth grade first season?
No, well, yeah, it should be a year older, but I think it's like more 6 months
Oh.
than like a whole year.
So what are they in like 11th grade right now?
Some are 11th, some are senior. Yeah,
I don't know.
it should definitely end next year if you're gonna stick with these characters, unless you're gonna go to like college years. But I think
9 to 5 years.
the story that needs to be told is Rue's story, Zendaya's story.
What's the story? Like what's like is the goal to see her like, you know what? I'm a bad person. I need to fix this. And then she like redeems herself in some way.
Yeah, like she is a bad person
Okay.
that went through trauma, but now she needs to. Well, the story is like, will she be able to get out of this hole she's in?
She's probably gonna die, huh?
Likelihood is that she should die.
It would be a better ending.
Yeah.
I hope she dies. Hard.
And then there's other stories like relationships and their like other problems that characters have that should be resolved, but I feel like those are sort of spinning in a circle or weren't told enough.
Does he have like a vision, or is he like,
I don't know.
I only had one season planned.
I think
it'd be good.
The thing that is good is the show looks great. Like the actual cinematography is amazing, but as a whole, didn't hold up this year.
Didn't hold up.
So we'll see where it goes. So the latest episode of Jeen-Yuhs came out. Last episode in the documentary series, chronicling
the life of Cootie and the side character Kanye West.
I mean, what are you gonna do when like you're taken out of Kanye's life for 10 years?
Give up or something?
No, you're gonna make yourself the main character.
When he's like, I didn't realize something was about to come in my life, and it was like the birth of his daughter. I'm like, is this a joke? This isn't about you.
I mean, he could have made it about him.
It should have been marketed as like my life with Kanye.
Yeah.
And I would have understood that, but that's not gonna sell.
Yes.
So he kind of screwed himself.
Yeah. Yeah, I did it. The third episode was the one that was like least impactful for me. The first one was like great. Second one, it kept getting worse and worse.
The last one gave me like dread because I was seeing like Kanye get worse.
Yeah.
There's a word for it, but like, you could see he's getting lonelier.
Yeah.
Getting lonelier and lonelier.
Yeah, that's my main takeaway, that it was a sad episode by the end of the series. And I think what just like confirmed it, I already knew this, but it confirmed it, that like he is kind of going crazy and he's trying to stay sane, but like when you're that big and when you've done what he's done and you've lost that figure that his mom and was central to him, you're kind of like gonna end up going crazy.
Yeah, I don't see a way out for him. Like, unless he's like, he like really just like goes monk mode and says like,
Yeah.
You know what? I'm kind of done for a while.
I think that would be best for him.
Yeah.
But I just.
Because he just needs to let go of all of these things he's attached to. Like, I know he has his fashion, he has his movies, he has his apartment complexes, whatever. He has to like just let that go and be like, I'm done. Like, it's been let out. And then maybe he can make music for fun. Never releases it, does whatever he wants. Goes on vacation, who cares?
I still think he needs to have an outlet. Like, I think what he is messing up in, I obviously don't know, but I think what would help him is having less media attention and more focused on his craft.
Yeah, but that's correct, but wrong.
Because, okay, let me just say this. To me, where I see him like fall off the rails is when he's getting more attention.
Right.
Like the president stuff, that looked like he was falling off the rails. Even in the documentary, it looked like that. Then now with like the Kim and Skeet predicament, I think that's also another way he's falling off the rails. When he's like trying to get as much attention. To me, he looks. It seems like he's doing good when I don't see him. So that, I don't know what that means. Maybe that doesn't mean anything at all for how good he's doing. So
it's just that the media has like so much influence over like they have like a horrifying amount of influence on just everything. Like, they can send any message they want and whatever, and that's what Kanye's been saying. But they always get him with saying like whatever racist accidental thing he says, so then that spirals out.
he gets easily triggered.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's just tough because like he's fighting a losing battle, but he's like, I think he's technically in the right with a lot of what he's saying.
Yeah.
But he has, like, he doesn't have the mental strength to fight freaking TMZ and the like.
Exactly. It was cool to see like that. There's like a scene where Rhymefest was like, "You're not a genius," and he's like, "Who are you to say I'm not a genius?" But you can tell he was kind of kidding around. And then Rhymefest's like, "What are you talking about? You should have. That's messed up, calling yourself a genius." And then Kanye's like,
I was annoyed with Rhymefest there.
"What?"
I was annoyed with Rhymefest. Like, geez, you're such a weirdo.
And then Kanye's like, it made me laugh because like I was thinking about how conceited it is for myself to call myself a genius.
Uh-huh.
And that was like, you sort of see, that's him in a nutshell, like him provoking and then him just like laughing about it, But then if you multiply that by 10, that's where Kanye's at right now. Cause like he's at a point where he actually believes it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, he can think about it himself and be like, okay, maybe that's sort of stupid from calling myself a genius, but whatever. I just like to see that evolution, but it's still him at the end of the day.
Do you think Jay-Z's a genius?
A genius.
I don't think.
I think he's wise.
Yeah, I don't think there's any geniuses.
No.
Like, I just think there's like skilled people in areas. And then there's like the occasional person who sees something that nobody's seen before. I don't think that's like genius. That's more like luck and you see it.
Yeah. I think what Kanye is really good at is I think he's gifted in music, like making good music, and he's extremely good at believing in himself, which is very key. And something else, I forgot what I was gonna say. It's like the ego, the music,
taste.
In a way, yeah. And I feel like anyone can get by with like two good things.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something. I thought it was gonna be profound, but I guess it wasn't. And then the other thing that sort of that was made obvious is like he just needs someone, and the person that should be his someone
Goody.
isn't the right person for him.
Mm-hmm.
His wife, his ex-wife, wasn't. I think it's like he changed as a person, so she needed to change, but she wasn't the person to change with him. And it's at the end of the day, it's not her fault. It's his fault for choosing her. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that wasn't the right relationship to get into. And that eventually is sort of what made him go crazy. Like, that kind of relationship is...
He needed, like, a grounded person who isn't about being a billionaire. Like Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
Having, like, that image.
Who doesn't care about being in the media.
Yeah.
He needs someone opposite of that.
Yoko Ono.
Perfect. He just needs like a good ride or die. It was so sad when he calls his dad and he's like trying to talk to his dad. Oh, that was disgusting. And dad's like not really listening to him in a way. He's like, no, I'm just trying to tell you like this. And you could tell he wants someone to love him. And it's like, oh, it was so... Ugh. Poor guy.
Yep.
Ivan, it's time for a section called Really Be Bussin'. Did you listen to Donda 2?
No.
Me neither. Pitchfork gave it a horrible rating.
Yeah.
It's like the first horrible rating they've ever given Kanye.
Look, I don't trust Pitchfork. First off.
I do.
I don't like them.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't like their bones.
Their bones.
Their bones.
How they make their bones?
I don't like them.
Okay.
Not a bit.
I don't like this character because I don't know that character.
Who is this person? I think It's just Kanye devolving. It just seems unfair, unethical. This is like hot take, I guess.
Yeah, I don't like it already.
Unethical to rate an album of like a sick man. It's like I vomit. Like, you call that vomit?
No, that's not that.
In a way.
You're just grading someone's work. Whether they're... So you're saying like, oh, because of that guy, since he lost his arm, we shouldn't grade that violinist because he lost his arm anymore.
Technically.
Okay. That's a good take.
Because he can't play anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, well, technically he is a bad violinist now because he can't play.
Right.
But
now that he's using his teeth.
I was thinking like he doesn't even play at all.
Oh.
Like, if you don't play, you're not good.
Gotcha. Well, Kanye's obviously not trying to put a lot of time and intricacies into his music.
He's just moving too fast in his head. It's like, it's done. Ship it out. But it's affecting too much. Maybe he'll redo it. Who knows? Like, maybe this is just a one-off.
Well, they were saying, like, his vision is to modify it as time goes on.
There we go. The first organic album.
Nice spin on your boy.
Yes.
Yay.
I could spin anything, my friend.
Donda 2. You spinned it. Certified Lover Boy. Go.
No.
Oh, come on.
Actually, you know, I was listening to Fair Trade like a billion times the other day.
Okay. Creeping me out.
It was good. Like, they're just solid songs, but it's not Drake being... It wasn't the time for this album, I don't think. It should have been more, like, introspective, like what he's struggling with, and not another, like, hit album.
Yeah.
And even these songs, they weren't even, like, hits. There's, like, hits on there, but they're not, like, one dance.
Right.
Which he should be pooping out every album.
Yeah.
Like one at least.
Yeah, I think that's like what disappointed me about Certified Lover Boy. That it is hits, but it's not the hits I wanted.
Yeah.
I wanted like the 12 mega hits.
Yeah.
Like I sort of hate that experience. I always mention it when he was just playing hit after hit at the stadium. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't recite all your raps. You're a god. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
Like, no one can do that. I mean, Kanye can do that, but Kanye's is different because it's like...
I feel like people would know Drake's songs a little better.
Yeah.
Whereas Kanye's like... Some of the songs would just hit a lot harder than Drake's songs.
Yeah.
I was going to say something. Drake sucks.
No, he doesn't.
I think he's just stuck with not being that introspective person, so he can't do like the hits. Like it's locked in him. Like if he doesn't let go of, because obviously he has like some demons in there that he needs to expel. Because nobody is perfect, so he has to figure out how to put that in an album. And once he lets that go, I think that's the time when he does hit to dance. I need the two dance.
God.
Got 2 Hennessy's in my hands.
Just rehashing it. Yeah. Let's see. Kendrick's coming. Let's not talk about Kendrick. We don't know yet.
I think it's going to be hot. I think it's going to be fire.
It better be scorching. It better melt my face off. Literally. Like, I don't want anything less than the best from Kendrick now.
I think he can do it. I think he's like the last self-aware person on earth.
That's a superstar, you're saying?
Hmm?
That's a superstar.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sure.
Because there's multiple artists that you can listen to if you want that, but...
Like who? Earl Sweatshirt? Get out of here. He's not self-aware.
Currency.
Get out of here. J. Cole.
Boldy James.
but hits. Hits.
I want you to be a music executive, and I go to look at Boldy James, but it's not hits.
No, I'll be like, where's the hit? I won't even look up.
Like Boldy James.
Where's the hit? You're like, what? Huh?
I have currency.
Where's the hit?
Freddie Gibbs.
There's a bass. There's your hit.
That's what I wanted. Oh God.
Should be an exec. I'd be good.
The guy that never looks at you in the face unless you give him a hit.
Like, I've known him 20 years. Hasn't looked up. This Kanye 2.0, he came in. He looked up.
Oh.
Something ain't right.
That's all I have, Ivan.
That's all you got?
Yep.
Not even a scratch on me.
Nope.
You battered and bruised over there.
Bleeding from my nose.
Good.
Guys, we'll be back next week with another episode of Peliculas with the Bros. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. It's been an hour and 20 minutes in, and we love all you guys. If you please can, leave a comment, leave a review, rate, comment, subscribe, whatever you can. We would appreciate it. We're on YouTube. We're on all podcast platforms. Check us out, Peliculas with the Bros. We'll be back next week with another episode where we'll be talking about the Batman. Yes, that Batman. The Batman. Directed by Matt Reeves, starring Robert Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz. Zoe Kravitz. Watch out now. We'll be back next week. Peace out.